I, Tonya, a biopic depicting the rise and fall of Tonya Harding, a famous ice skater who was kicked out because of her attempt to handicap her competition. The story is told in a 3-act structure, through several first-person perspectives shown through interviews. As the story moves along, these interviews merge with the events into non-diegetic voiceovers, sometimes interrupting or contradicting what we see. But these dialogues are also interwoven into the scene as well, allowing characters to break the fourth wall and speak to audiences directly.
He hit me, back the wallet. Fired a gun at me, too.
This is bullshit. I never did this.
Through each interview, we get to learn about our round characters, Tonya and Jeff, and our flat characters, Mom and Sean. Now, what's effective about these interviews is that it paints the order of the story clearly and concisely, while also showing us how every character experienced the events differently. And because of this, we get to see exactly what events took place that led to the climax and the fall in action of the movie. Now, the scope of the story extends way before Tonya's career in competitive skating. We start at the beginning, at her childhood. We learn about the poor household she lived in with an absent father and abusive mother who emotionally intertwined Tonya's self-esteem with her ability to win. We watch as this concept manifests through teenage years, making her tough, loud, and blunt, traits that are not admirable but still unique to Tonya. Continue to watch her career grow, we see her emotional wins and losses in her iconic triple axel. But shortly after this, we see her confidence begin to shake with her loss to competitor Nancy. From here, her thirst for winning leads her into a plot against Nancy, one that'll scare her away. And through the events of miscommunication and extreme violence, this plan quickly flips on its head. Soon, Tonya is sent into a downward spiral of criminal investigation where she and all those involved are forced to confront the cost of their crime. Now, this is what Tonya Harding was known for. She's the anti-hero of her own story, the skater that was crazy enough to put a hit on her competition. And that's exactly what the plot of this movie is. But that's not what this movie's narrative is about. No, what we are seeing here is not a skater driven by competition, but a woman driven by abuse. In the dialogue, we are constantly finding contradictions between how the abusers present the story and how they actually acted within the events. To add even more complexity to this narrative, we are also given moments where we can see Tonya's perspective being warped by her cycle of abuse. What this narrative is trying to show us is that Tonya wasn't born a bad person, but instead she is turned into one. The structure of the film is divided into the different points of Tonya's life, and at every point of her growth, she faces a different form of emotional pressure. In her childhood, she deals with Lavona's violent words and actions. In her adolescence, she is being pinned down by her abusive boyfriend Jeff. In her growing career, she is smeared and targeted by the community surrounding skating. Now, when the audience sees all this pressure put onto the shoulder of one person, we become keen to the tension building up, and we sit on that tension just waiting for the moment that it snaps. In these moments alone with Tonya, no one to whisper in her ear or to loom over her shoulder. We see the destruction happening under the surface. We see her true self, and it is sad, but it's also poetic to see a person lose themselves to their passion, to their success, because we now understand that there is more at stake here than a medal. Through the telling of brief interviews, I, Tonya, gives us a story that has been lost to headlines, a story of Tonya Harding and the weight she bore on her shoulders.